Thanks for watching another edition of the NFL Daily Mailbag here on Chat Sports. I am Will Scott, answering questions live during our Wednesday live show. We go live twice a week. We'll be live during the draft, so be sure to subscribe to the channel for more NFL news and rumors, and especially draft coverage. First question coming in from Corbin Britton. He super chatted. We appreciate the super chat, Corbin. What's your value on Trey Lance? So, yeah, Trey Lance has been in some trade rumors here as of late after Ian Rappaport said the 49ers have taken some calls on the former first-round pick. I think, Corbin, it depends on what team is trading for him. If you're the Texans, I think the number 33 overall pick alone is enough to get Trey Lance. That's basically a first-round pick. You're right there outside the first round. But if you're a team like the Titans and you pick, middle of the second round, number 41 overall, then you might have to give up a second and a fourth. So it depends on the team. I would say either early second should get it done, or a second-round pick and then a early day 3 pick should be enough to get a deal for Trey Lance done. Jay Elam, what's up, man? Oh, this is interesting. $2. We appreciate the super chat. Dak Prescott for Trey Lance. I do not think that's something Jerry Jones is going to entertain, and I don't know why the 49ers would really want that either. The whole point of San Francisco trading Trey Lance is the fact that they believe in Brock Purdy. So I don't see them trading for Dak Prescott and taking on that massive contract when they have a pretty good starter right now. And Purdy, it's a lot cheaper. Mr. Elvin's going to be a lot cheaper than the $40 million per year that Dak is making. Robert, what's up, man? What is your Falcons record prediction going to be this season? That's a great question. If they don't sign another quarterback, I would say, or don't trade for Lamar Jackson, let's say, or don't draft a quarterback, I'd say 7-10. This roster's certainly gotten a lot better, but I just don't think that the quarterback play is going to be where you need to be. But that division is wide open. I mean, you might win that division at 7-10 this year. You never know. I mean, the Saints got better, but certainly some question marks around Dennis Allen. So that division is going to be wide open, Robert. You go 9-8, exceed expectations, at least my expectations a little bit, you might win that division. Cheating Astro. It should say defending champ Astro, but that's none of my business. Who could be a surprise first-round pick? That is a great question. Certainly a topic of conversation here in the next week leading up to the draft. I would say Jack Campbell, the Iowa linebacker. Really like him as a prospect. One of the best, if not the best, off-ball linebacker in this class. Had a phenomenal season for the Hawkeyes. 125 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 2 interceptions, 1 forced fumble. I think his ceiling is unbelievable, and I think some teams feel the same way. And this could be a situation where, okay, if you take him, your critics are going to say you reached, but he could become, a Pro Bowl caliber player and could be that his entire career. Name a sleeper first-round prospect in the 2023 NFL Draft. Maybe Darnell Washington is the name to watch. They could sneak in to the first round. Name a sleeper first-round prospect down in the comment section. Alec G. Does Jalen Carter fall out of the top 10? 2 weeks ago, I would have said yes. Now I'm going to say no. Most mock drafts that I'm seeing have Carter going number 5 overall to the Seattle Seahawks. He's arguably the most talented player in this draft. Now, he obviously comes with some baggage, was involved in that fatal car wreck, a couple weeks ago, and there's certainly some questions he's going to have to answer about that when he's meeting with these teams. But his agent, Drew Rosenhaus, is refusing to meet with any team outside the top 10. He's very confident, and Drew Rosenhaus is arguably the best agent in the business, and he's very confident that he's going to be a top 10 pick. So I would say no. I think he goes number 5 overall to Seattle. I would say the lowest he's going to fall, number 10 overall to the Philadelphia Eagles. Chad Jones. Who? Chad Jones. We appreciate you watching the show as always, my man. I heard Austin Jackson is doing different training. Do you think it'll help him? I'll say this about Austin Jackson. The potential is there, but he's not proven enough for me to feel comfortable about him being the right tackle. Look, he was a first-round pick out of USC for a reason. He was good at USC. He's strong. He's physical. He was showing some signs of improvement last offseason, but he gets hurt in the season opener, then gets hurt again when he comes back like 12 weeks later. So he's just not proven enough for me to feel comfortable protecting Tua Tagovailoa's blind side. If Tua didn't have the injury history that he had, I'd feel different about this. But you have got to do everything you can to protect Tua. Cam Fleming's still out there and available. You have some really good right tackle prospects like Cody Mock that you could draft in the second round next week. I would not feel great if I'm Tua Tagovailoa, if Austin Jackson is protecting my blind side for the entire 2023 season. You got to keep Tua healthy. But hopefully that training program that you mentioned, Chad, will help AJ out. Madden Field, we appreciate the question. Will the Cowboys make another move? If so, who will they get? If you're talking about free agency specifically, I think it's possible that Dallas could make another move here. You look at their running back situation. Let's say they don't get Bijan Robinson in the draft, and Bijan's been a guy linked to Dallas a lot. Maybe they'll look to trade for a running back. I don't see them really giving up a lot to get a guy like Austin Eckler. But maybe they'll trade for running back. We'll see that if they don't draft one. Be sure to subscribe and join our weekly mailbags to get on the show. Also, turn on your notifications by hitting the notification bell below. And if you do that, you're going to get an alert on your phone whenever we put out a video and also whenever we go live. 60-second promise from Sam Brown. Super chat coming in here from Corbin Britton. We appreciate another super chat from our guy Corbin. Did Jalen Hurts just ruin Lamar's chances? $230 million. Well, I think Lamar's going to want a similar contract. I mean, Jalen Hurts got, $230 million total, $179 million guaranteed, average out $51 million per year. Lamar's probably going to want something pretty similar. Now, there's reports that Lamar turned down $200 million guaranteed, which if he did that, that's not a good call on his part. So we'll see what happens. But no, I think Jalen Hurts just kind of reset the market in a sense. Richard Lococo, Bears fan, number one, what's up? Who do you guys think is a blue chip player if the Bears stay at number 9? Peter Skoronski, maybe? I like Skoronski, the offensive tackle at Northwestern, staying in the Chicago area, taking him at number 9. I think that makes a lot of sense, and we've seen him linked to them a lot. Des Powell, most overpaid player thus far. I say Jalen Hurts, dude, is getting paid for being good on a Super Bowl team and still couldn't come up with a ring. Des, did you watch Super Bowl? I mean, he was outstanding in that game. That loss was not on Jalen Hurts. The defense collapsed in the second half. Jalen Hurts balled out in that game, balled out the entire year. Had a huge role in getting Philadelphia that far. I think Jalen Hurts deserves that type of money. When you look at his per-year numbers in terms of cap hit over the next 4 years, actually pretty team-friendly. Cheaper than Daniel Jones. Thank you, producer Sam Brown. Next season, I should say. So I'm a Jalen Hurts guy. Some people might not feel the same way about him as I do, and that's fine. But if you're the Eagles, you had to pay him because he's going to be a free agent after next season, and he just got you to the Super Bowl. Got the draft coming up next week. Go and rep your favorite team by going to chatsports.com/NFL draft hats. You're going to be wearing the same hat that the player that your team drafts is going to be wearing next week. So go and get ready for the draft by picking up your official NFL draft hats at chatsports.com/NFL draft hats. Have all the teams on there. I see David Storm saying he's going to go get his Dolphins draft cap. chatsports.com/NFL draft hats. That link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Go and take advantage. Get this hat before the draft next week. If you order it now, you can get it in time in all likelihood. GM Evan Hinder says, I think the Raiders will draft Jake Haener. Oh, yes, another Jake Haener fan. Quarterback from Fresno State in the third round. He's like Jared Goff 2.0. I love Jake Haener. So get this, Evan. Before this college football season, I did this TikTok for Chat Sports, and I ranked my top 5 college quarterbacks. Jake Haener was number 5 on that list. He was ahead of Anthony Richardson, actually. Big fan of Jake Haener. He's a top 5 quarterback in this draft class for me, which might sound crazy, but he is. I mean, I like him a lot better than Tanner McKee, quite frankly. Low-key like him better than Will Levis. So we'll see where he goes. Third round is probably, a decent projection there, Evan. But if the Raiders do not take a quarterback at number 7 overall, they'll likely take a backup for Jimmy G a little bit later on. Maybe Jake Haener is going to be that guy who balled out in the Senior Bowl MVP. Harrison Sanchez, thanks for the question, man. Will J.C. Jackson end up being a bust free agent pickup for the Chargers? No. First of all, that deal was a steal. I can't believe he did not make more money. So no, I don't think so. DJ48, will an Aaron Rodgers trade happen before the draft? Man, I don't know. I mean, we thought this trade was going to happen weeks ago. We're filming this on April 19th. There's been no trade. I do not know what's going to happen. And we've been hearing reports that the Jets and the Packers haven't talked in weeks. I'm not optimistic about a trade happening before the draft. Will an Aaron Rodgers trade happen before the NFL draft? Type Y for yes or type in for no down in the comment section. Can you imagine if Aaron Rodgers changes his mind and retires or doesn't want to go to the Jets? What are the Jets going to do? I don't know. RC Plane Builder 2. What are the chances that Atlanta trades back in the draft? And if so, who will they trade with and what will they get in return? I don't think they're going to trade back, but let's say, I don't know, Richardson falls to 8, team wants to trade up for a quarterback, then sure, you can never count out a team trading back. In terms of who they will trade with, I expect if they trade back, it's probably going to be for a team that needs a quarterback, maybe the Titans, maybe the Commanders. Titans are at 11, so them trading up 3 spots might make some sense. What will they get in return? It depends on how far back they move. If they trade with the Commanders, move back 8 spots, they might get a future first. If they trade back with the Titans and maybe a second. We'll see. But I think Atlanta should stay in that spot, number 8. Drew Baca, thanks for the question. Witherspoon to the Raiders, and I'm a big Witherspoon fan, as I said earlier. Would be rad. Pair him back up with Nate Hobbs. I'm a big Devon Witherspoon fan. He's CB1 for me in this draft. I know the Raiders probably are thinking about drafting a quarterback, but him at 7 would be a great, great pickup. Ozzy Osmond, thanks for the super chat. $5 coming in. Cousins going to a team to replace a backup quarterback who went to the NFC Championship. It's Case Keenum all over again. You're right, Case Keenum led the Vikings to the NFC Championship game. And they get rid of him, bring in Kirk Cousins, and they haven't been back to the NFC Championship, have they, producer Sam Brown? No, they have not. Kirk Cousins, obviously an upgrade over Keenum, but in terms of the team getting further than they did with Case Keenum, that's not something they did. But if San Francisco brings in Cousins, and I don't think they should, I think Purdy's the guy, then I think they'd make at least the NFC Championship game. Pat Norris, why do we base Anthony Richardson as a first-round pick because he had a good combine? He was subpar last year in the SEC. Pat, I'm with you, man. I've never been like a huge, oh my God, he had a good combine type of guy. I'm more of a film guy. And I watched a lot of SEC football this year. And I remember watching that first game, Florida against Utah. And I went into that game very skeptical of Anthony Richardson. And then he was making all those crazy plays, and he was looking like Cam Newton. I'm like, oh my God, I was wrong. But then he did not have a game like that the rest of the season. He was a little bit inconsistent. I thought he should have come back for another year and developed a little bit more. I obviously understand why he didn't, because he's going to be a top 10 pick in all likelihood, maybe even a top 5 pick. But I'm with you, man. I'm more of a tape guy than a combine results guy, and the tape for Anthony Richardson is not as good as Stroud or Young or maybe even some other quarterbacks like Hendon Hooker. For me, top 2 quarterbacks kind of separate themselves. I got Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud. Then number 3, it's Hendon Hooker for me. He's QB3. It's not Anthony Richardson. Not saying, though, that Anthony Richardson doesn't have potential. He can be good. Daniel, thanks for the question. If Dallas doesn't like who they want at number 26, should they trade back and get an extra second to get Darnell Washington from Georgia? I've seen a mock draft. Daniel has the Cowboys taking Darnell at 26. I don't think that's a huge reach because he's probably going to be an early second-round pick. But, yeah, I mean, if they want to trade back a few spots, let's say the Chiefs want to trade up for a wide receiver. You trade back 5 spots, you add a second-round pick, you get Darnell at 31. That might make a lot of sense for Dallas. I would not rule it out. I also would not rule out Dallas maybe trading up for a guy like Bijan Robinson.